Good morning guys, welcome back. I'm on this really pretty beach in the province of Ra, and you know, I would describe it as pristine, but there is just so much rubbish here. It really is quite shameful. How are you going to promote Fiji as a premier tourist destination when there is just so much rubbish lying around on these beaches? It really is quite shameful. And anyway, that's enough of me griping. I'm on my way to visit a church today. I'm off to visit the Church of St. Francis Xavier. Now, that church has a fresco which has been described as one of the most important, if not the most important, in all of the Pacific. And I'll tell you more when we get there. But yep, let's get back on the road and go and visit this church. Okay guys, here I am. I'm in Navunibitu. That's the name of the area, and this is the parish of the Church of St. Francis Xavier. And the Church of St. Francis Xavier is over there on that hill, but set back from the hill. You can't see it from here. Now, that church has one of the most, as I said earlier, has one of the most important works of art in the Pacific. It's a fresco, and the main part of it is a triptych, a panel of 3 frescoes set over the altar, and we're going to have a look at it now. How was that?
Was it the force? Was it the fire burning in me? All of the noise turned into choirs of harmony. Left me with the pieces of forever that you broke. But since you left me low, I've been high. turning to me. All of the noise turned into choirs of harmony. Left me with the pieces of forever that you broke. But since you left me alone, I've been high. I've been high. Lately I've been high.
Now, in the first panel of this triptych, there is the figure of a young girl in the blue uniform of the mission school of St. Francis Xavier. Next to her is the figure of St. Peter Chanel, who was a saint martyred in the Pacific in 1841. Next to him is Father Matada, the very first Fijian Catholic priest who died a couple of years ago. Next to him is an indigenous Fijian woman bearing mats as a presentation to Jesus. Now, mats are a form of enormous respect in Fijian culture. Next to her is a Fijian man holding out a tambua. A tambua is a whale's tooth, and it's one of the highest forms of respect in Fijian culture. Again, that tambua is being presented to Jesus. In the central panel, there is the figure of Jesus himself, the black Jesus, who is wearing a Fijian sulu and has as his heart an uto. An uto is the Fijian word for breadfruit, but it's also the Fijian word for heart. At the base of the cross there is a kava bowl. Again, kava is a huge form of respect in Fijian culture. In the right panel, there is a Fijian woman of Indian origin making the presentation of a garland to Jesus. She's wearing a purple sari and she has her head covered. Again, this is a huge form of respect that's being made to Jesus. Next to her, slightly recessed, is a Fijian man of Indian origin who has 2 oxen. Next to him is the figure of St. Francis Xavier himself, the patron saint of the church and of India. And right at the end, there is an altar boy. Okay guys, as you can probably tell, I'm pouring with sweat. I've just come in from the outside, and we're in the church of St. Francis Xavier, and I hope you can hear me, because occasionally you will hear the twittering of birds in the rafters of this church. So here we are, we're in the main church, and we have the triptych fresco directly behind us. 3 panels with the central panel of the Black Christ, or the Black Jesus, and there are 2 further frescoes on both transept altars. I think it's very important to tell you a little of the story of the man who commissioned them and the man who painted them. They were commissioned by Monsignor Franz Wagner, who headed the Catholic mission here at St. Francis Xavier in the 50s and 60s. And he commissioned these frescoes in 1961. He commissioned them from an artist by the name of Jean Charlot. Now, Franz Wagner was an absolutely fascinating person. He, I don't know if you know much about musicals, but Franz Wagner was the choir master to the Von Trapp family, the famous Von Trapp family, who were in Austria during the time of the invasion by Hitler. And rather than have anything to do with that monstrous regime, that monstrous racist regime, they decided, with their choir master, with Franz Wagner, to up sticks and go on a singing tour of America. Of course, their story later became famous as the subject of a movie, firstly as a subject of a musical, and then it became the subject of a movie, The Sound of Music with Julie Andrews. So that's Franz Wasner's story. And so he commissions these frescoes in 1961, and he commissions them from Jean Charlot, who was teaching art at the University of Hawaii at the time. He commissions them very early in 1961. It was a momentous year. There was the Cuban Missile Crisis, and there was also the Second Vatican Council, which had a huge effect on the teaching of Catholic doctrine across the world. You know, you could start, you didn't have to say Mass in Latin, you could say it in the local vernacular. So here Franz Wasner was saying the Mass here at this church of St. Francis Xavier. He was saying the Mass in Fijian, no less. And so he commissions these frescoes, but from Jean Charlot. Jean Charlot was a Frenchman who had been a pivotal figure in the Mexican art Renaissance of the 1920s. He went out to Mexico City, no less. And he was there, a very important figure. He met some of the greatest artists in Mexico City at the time. And you know, his story was equally compelling. He was there. This whole business of the Mexican art Renaissance was about removing racism from art. It was doing away with Spanish colonial art and reinventing art with local colour, local traditions, local flavours, local people. So all that was going on. So there were these two figures approaching art here at St. Francis Xavier from two different angles where they were ditching racism. So that, for me, at least that's my interpretation of this absolutely exquisite fresco. It has a black Jesus wearing a sulu. He has as his heart an utto, which is a breadfruit, which is also the Fijian word for heart. And you've got Fijians, indigenous Fijians, you've got Indo-Fijians, and all of them are paying homage. This fresco would have been absolutely revolutionary for its time. And that's why I come here. You know, I come here, I mean, I've seen this fresco often enough. I come here and I just want to have a look at it. I just want to sit or stand in front of it and just admire the small details. You know, and I just love coming to this church to listen to some of the singing that goes on a Sunday service. What's really fascinating about this church is they don't have any pews. There are no pews. Everybody sits on the floor on pandanus mats, and if you're infirm or you find it difficult to sit on the floor, well, chairs are provided for you. There is a bench over there. So, you know, there's that wonderful spirit of democracy, and there's the singing, my goodness, the singing. If you know anything about the power of the Fijian voice, the way it can transport you and give you such goosebumps, well, you need to come to a service here on a Sunday. As is the case with many churches across Fiji. The singing is just absolutely phenomenal. So, you know, I will come here on a Sunday, I will sit with the congregation, I will listen to them singing, and I will admire that fresco, that incredibly important fresco with its theme of unity, of unity in diversity, that, you know, not just that, you know, you can come to, from the perception of the fresco, the idea is that everybody's equal before God, but it's also the idea that, you know, you're reinventing art here. You're reinventing art, which has never been done before. And, you know, you've got all these wonderful local people who are figured in this fresco. And that, for me, just takes my breath away. Okay, guys, just a short drive, just a few minutes drive from the church of St. Francis Xavier is the village of Naiserelagi, and they're having a lovo. Lovo. Okay. Whose birthday? 16 years old. Your birthday? No.
My namesake.
Whose birthday?
Namesake. My name is.
Oh, your namesake.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Bula. Okay, these are the fellows here organising the lovo. Now, if you didn't know, a lot of you viewers are from Fiji anyway, but those of you who are not familiar with a lovo. Lovo is
birthday party.
a birthday party. Okay, so 16-year-old, and that's the bread, the utto fruit, breadfruit.
This palusami.
Balsami, chicken balsami.
This palusami.
That's the balsami there. Okay,
Palusami.
coconut, grated coconut.
Coconut, yeah. This
Where's the fish? Oh, the fish.
you wrap the fish, yeah.
Grab the fish.
Ready for the lovo.
Oh, I can feel the heat.
Yeah, the chili here. The chili is already here. Chili, boat chili.
Okay, so we got the chili, and then we got the.
Everything's proven, yeah.
So that's the leaves,
Coconut leaves.
the coconut leaves,
The coconut branch.
the coconut branch,
The coconut banana branch.
banana branch.
Right.
Wow,
Ready
lovo.
for
That's a lovo.
cooking food. Ready for cooking food.
Wow,
It's how Fiji cooking the food.
I can feel the heat.
Well, here, plenty.
Yeah, and they having a nice fruit juice here.
Fish here. Fish wrapped with the fish.
Fish,
The lovo.
fish lolo,
Fish lolo.
fish lolo,
Fish lolo. The breadfruit.
breadfruit,
The palusami.
balsami.
The dalo here. The dalo here.
Oh, okay, the dalo. That's very important. The dalo. That's
Everything is provided here.
okay.
Ready.
Ready to cook.
Yeah. Everything's ready.
How long will it take? Maybe 1, 2 hours? 2 hours, huh? 2 hours, huh? Yeah. These are the young maestros involved with the lovo.
Here's the kumala.
And this is
Thank you. This my name is Koresilamba.
Koresilamba.
Bulavinaka.
Koresilamba. I met him earlier. Kumala? Okay.
Kumala ready for. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Sweet potato. Sweet potato. Kumala bola.
Kumala.
Pigeon made.
Okay, this is interesting, eh? They're gonna. This is
Fiji made. Fiji made.
come this side. Okay, so he's giving a lovo just to keep it, just to recycle the the firewood. So that's a traditional Fijian lovo. It's made in the ground. It's very typical across the Pacific. Food that's cooked in the ground. As one of the young chaps said earlier, it'll take about 2 hours. We made a lovo in London many years ago. It took half a day in summer, but here this is Fiji. It's hot. It'll only take 2 hours.
Sit. My boy, can you come with boy?
Wow.
Ready for the lovo.
Ready for the lovo.
Ready for the lovo.
Okay.
How to cook food.
And so this is the old King's Road. This is the this is the old King's Road. And so this is the road you used to travel along if you were in Fiji back in the day, back before. I think they made this road, the new road, about 2000? Yeah. Okay, so this is the old road you used to travel along. If you're travelling from along the coast here in Fiji, you'd travel along this road. And it joins the main road just over there. That's the main road. And there is another, this road joins the main road in the other direction as well. So this is a beautiful village. The sea, this is Naiserelagi, and the sea is just over there. And there is a jetty. I'm trying to hold on to this juice. The jetty is over there, huh? Yeah, okay. So the jetty is over there, and the jetty was used to transport the stone when the church of St. Francis Xavier was being built. It arrived here at this jetty. I've only just found that out. So, and the church is just over there anyway. So this is it. This is a beautiful village, absolutely beautiful village, and they're having a lovo for a birthday. So on that note, thank you very much for watching, and 1, 2, 3, voila! Okay, we've got something else going on here. Okay, this is the this is ready, eh? Okay. All going on.
Start lovo. How we start the
This is how
lovo?
they start the lovo.
Cooking food.
And then the leaves go on top
Yeah, the leaves are gonna come in after next.
after next, eh?
We will put what lovo inside the food for the lovo. We provide for the leaves.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
The breadfruit.
The breadfruit.
Dalo inside.
Yes.
You know Woodstock.
Okay.
Kalau sami, you want Woodstock. Boys are walking.
Yeah. Doing a good job.
Yeah, boys are fully walking.
Yeah.
Ready for birthday. 3 o'clock gonna start the birthday.
Start the birthday, eh?
Birthday party. All the birthday parties, the friends here. Everybody.
Oh man. Sweet 16.
16.
This is nice. What is it? This is tang.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the colour of those leaves. Look at that. Those leaves are strong. Like plastic. Yeah. Like plastic. Yeah, yeah. Careful with the knife. Oh. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Benaka, time to go. Thank you, Benaka. Okay.